guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. We are here in the sunny state of California, in Los Angeles, for something pretty epic from Acura, and it's this vehicle right here. This is it. This is your 2025 Acura ADX. But before we get into their all-new crossover SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. Acura is laying down the path that they have been working on for years. It all started, believe it or not, right after the pandemic pretty much, in 2021, when they really were starting to bring back that Type S performance sub-brand and showing how going with their models, you can go and get that Type S and have that ultimate in performance from Acura. Now the great news is they know that it's not just about sedans, right? They have a TLX, they have the return of the Acura Integra, but they also realize that crossover SUVs are still very, very popular, and they wanted to create one that would sort of be that entryway into the Acura family, and that is where the ADX comes into. This will be their smallest crossover SUV in their lineup that goes ADX, RDX, MDX, ZDX, from A to Z, as they say. But what I want to find out is if you're looking for a smaller size crossover SUV and you really want to have that technology, the style, and all the high-end finishes, is the Acura ADX the way to go? Let's go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, you'll notice the size. A little bit smaller than the RDX, but still having a lot of that big Acura presence to it. Now at the front of the business, you're gonna see that design philosophy that really plays well with their vehicles. The chicane daytime running lamp, nicely illuminated, all LED projector beam headlights. And one thing that I really like, besides how they accentuated the lighting element in there, is how it flows really sharply into our grille area. Now working our way down, the way that they took the front fascia and edged it out, it really allows them to have that nice aggressive look without having to stick things on, like stick on fake vents and stuff. This is where the designers really earn their keep, because they're able to create these shapes without just adding. Sometimes it's better not to add to create more. Working our way down, you're gonna have the gloss black along the bottom portion with our LED fog lamps. And then as we come across the front grille, like I said, showing that design that matches into the rest of the lineup. We have our Acura badge, the forward-facing camera, and that precision crafted grille, that nice crisscross design without any solid perimeter around it, which is really nice. I really like the way they're moving that direction with their grills along all their vehicles. Working our way down, a little bit of flat black, but you do have functionality, and you'll notice that we have active shutters behind there that are gonna open and close to allow more or less air to enter in. And this lower lip section, and I'll have Steven zoom back in again, is actually a painted metallic gray finish. So I'm glad that they didn't just do all gloss black. It's nice to bring some different colors to have that depth of the front end of the vehicle. And what I love about it is that you see it coming down the road, you immediately know, even if I covered up the badge, you know that this is an Acura vehicle. Now, what's interesting, you're gonna have 3 different ways to trim it. Your entry level into not only the Acura brand, but also the ADX is going to be simply the ADX. Then you're gonna move up to A-Spec. This particular one is an A-Spec Advance. And when we get to the interior, I'll really explain some of those special touches when you go top trim. Now, as we rise up, love the way they have that front fascia extends down, body color, and then that peak. That's another piece of their design, that peak that rises up and then it evaporates as it gets towards the windshield. Another nice element are these curves at the peak top part of the hood where it meets the fender. That not only gives it a good look, but when you're behind the wheel of this ADX, it gives you good visual reference points for when you're navigating through your daily commute. Now, as we come around the bend, what are we working with wheel and tire setup? So what you're gonna notice on our particular one is that V-spoke design, gloss black wheel. Love that deep gloss black. And I like the touches, how they go with the black lug nuts. It's the simple things, right? It's the simple things that really pay big dividends. So with this 19-inch wheel, you're looking at tires that are 235 on the width, 45 series sidewall, and this is the wheel that you get when you go with that A-Spec, especially like ours, that particular advanced trim. Now, you'll be able to get your ADX front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. And when you step it up A-Spec, that brings that sporty, blacked-out exterior to certain touches. For example, the gloss black around the fender openings. Really love the way it works nicely. It's like a yin and yang design, especially with our pearlescent white paint. And when it comes to the chassis and the suspension, one thing that Acura does is they make sure that that engaged driving experience is gonna happen. So the way that they work the chassis and the suspension is to give you confident driving, but also give you engaging driving as you're going down the road. Now, coming down the rest of the vehicle, you'll notice that A-Spec badge. Love the way, just a nice touch, good placement. You're gonna get gloss black on your mirror caps, LED turn signals, nice slim and trim. From the side of the vehicle, you could see the overall dimensions and where this is gonna fall, not only in Acura's lineup, but also in this segment of the auto industry lineup. You're looking at vehicles like the Audi Q3, the BMW X1, vehicles like that. On our A-Spec here, you'll notice that you have that nice size panoramic moonroof. You have your gloss black only along the top of the window frame openings. I'm really liking that rather than having it circling the whole window, side window itself. Color match on your door handles. And then as we work our way down, that indentation, this is another element of design that really gives a lot of substance to the side of the vehicle, that indentation on the lower portion of the doors, and then that gloss black sill that extends out just a tad as you work towards the rear of the vehicle. You do have nice size rear quarter window, even though this is just obviously a 2-row. It's nice to have that extra light come in, plus it helps with the style. When you spin it around the back side, you'll notice coming off the rear passenger door, how it flares out into our rear quarter panel, and that body line then comes perfect. Look at the lighting. They are really raising the bar here on their LED lighting. I mean, that just looks so classy and so high-end, all like that. Of course, we got our A-Spec badge on the rear. You have a nice long roof spoiler. And look at how on each edge we have it peaked up just a little bit. Obviously, form following function and function following form. From the rear of the vehicle, I think one of the things that really separates this small crossover SUV, the rest from the competition, look at the way they angled the midsection down. And I'm glad that they didn't put any trim here. Just the Acura badge nicely sunk into that top middle section, and then dropping it like it's hot to ground level, you're gonna have functional exhaust outlets on both sides, nice round opening slash cut stainless steel tips, and just like up front, they did some gloss black, but then they brought that gloss gunmetal metallic gray finish. That looks really spectacular. Like I said, to give it that extra element of design and the all-wheel drive badge. Now, if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's gonna be powering this vehicle? Underneath the hood, there's gonna be a 1.5 liter turbocharged engine, obviously borrowed from the Acura Integra, and that will be mated to a CVT automatic transmission. We will have more information about horsepower, of course, fuel efficiency with mileage, and everything else that will be coming down the road, especially the first drive. But we need to continue this first look of the all-new ADX. So let's go ahead, jump into our A-Spec Advance and see what Acura's bringing. All right, guys, we're inside the first time ever 2025 Acura ADX, this one being the A-Spec Advanced trim. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want a new small crossover SUV, but it seems all the small ones, they kind of don't do anything for me. And I've always been a Honda Acura person. How much is this ADX, especially when we're looking at what they're bringing? Well, the great news is that I could tell you where that starting price, where the whereabouts of the starting price is going to be, but we don't have exact MSRP pricing information yet. Still too soon for that, but we'll be bringing it to you. Expect this ADX to start in the mid 30,000 range. So definitely being very aggressive on the pricing, but let's see if they are bringing it interior wise to the door panels. Absolutely love the interior on this particular trim. You're going to have your soft touch black material up top, but then you'll notice the orchid with the blue. And what's fascinating is the blue is an Alcantara style material. Very, very sporty and classy. You'll also notice that gloss black has like a a golf ball texture design to it. And the good news is that you're not going to touch that gloss black. There's no reason to be touching it. We have the optional, obviously when you go A-Spec Advance, you're going to get that Bang & Olufsen 15 speaker sound system. No gloss black around the switchgear, some orchid on the center armrest area. And then look at how they did the ridges on the side of the door panel there on the bottom. Like I said, just giving it some extra style. Door pocket is a little tight, so maybe just one double from In-N-Out Burger and a Coke to wash it down. Now going from the door panel to the dash, love that orchid color up top with the stitching. That aluminum style finish looks spectacular. And then I love the way they do that crisscross applesauce design for the AC vents. Sliding on in all Acura ADXs will get the 9-inch infotainment system, wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and you have the whole Google suite of Google Maps, Amazon Alexa, the Assistant, all those goodies. And I love that it's full color on the graphics. And then you're right back to where we started. Working our way down, same thing with the AC vents here. You have this aluminum style start-stop button that's illuminated bright red. You get dual climate control. And look at the way the lights, when I turn up the heat, it goes red. And when I do a cool down, it turns blue. 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats. Nice to see that in this particular trim. Down below, and Steven's gonna have to swing it around, you do get standard wireless charging on all the trims, 2 USB-Cs, a 12 volt, and then you have a nice large cup holder right there. This is gonna control that CVT transmission. And then a little bit of gloss black, but like I said, you're not gonna be touching it. I really love the way they did this piece here with the orchid. And obviously they have different colors. If you're not into the orchid, you got your drive mode selector switch, hill descent control, individual mode, and then another large cup holder a little closer to the driver. Open this up. Hey, look at what we got in here. Randy's Donuts. We got our donut in here, and you could easily put a baker's dozen. I feel like this is somebody's dog toy. I think I'm gonna take this home for Oscar. I kind of want a real donut. I'm kind of hungry. Here's our key fob. Love the way Acura is doing their key fob. Very tasteful, especially with the Acura name there. And then you look around the back side, put that back, close it up. The seats, the leather, the Alcantara material, the nice bolstering, fully electric assist for the passenger, fully electric assist, of course, for the driver. And then up top, you got that panoramic moonroof. And I love the Bang & Olufsen speakers right in the headliner, right by your head. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this new ADX. All right, guys, here we are, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, so if you have a friend, if you're lucky enough to have a friend, you can let them borrow your ADX A-Spec Advance. Down below, love the sill plate. Nice aluminum finish with that badge. And then the pedal box is good. Aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle. My only zonk is I wish there was an aluminum dead pedal, just to kind of finish it off down here. Easy to get to. Seat controls, especially that lower lumbar, feels really good. I'm 6 feet tall, and the thing that I like about this ADX, even though it's Acura's smallest crossover SUV in their lineup, it doesn't feel super small in here, which is spectacular. Steering wheel, exactly what you expect. That perforated leather, the smooth leather, the contrast stitching, heated steering wheel. There's the A-Spec badge. Flat black on the switchgear, and then check it out. Metal paddles to go through those simulated gears with the CVT, and I love seeing those metal paddles there. A lot of the competition, they just have these little plastic things. And then there's that dash, 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster. It changes when you go into the different modes. Nice, clear, easy to see. And that is what makes this one of those Acura vehicles where you're going to be able to feel comfortable when you drive it. But let's get into the back seat and see if your passengers are going to be happy that you went ADX over the competition. All right, guys, back seat time. And once again, like I was saying, even though this is their smallest crossover SUV, just like up front, I'm still 6 feet tall. I haven't shrunk, at least yet. And I got plenty of headroom. Backs of the seats, that orchid, nice leather. You do have your rear AC vents, 2 USB-Cs, and we got a nice large pocket here to where you could put, I would say, 4 great books. Maybe like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Robinson Crusoe, maybe even some of the other greats like Wizard of Oz or Cinderella. The whole point is that your kids should be reading more. Actual books, not on their phone looking at Instagram. But anyways, as long as if it's Rady's Rides Instagram, then you're fine. But if it's like Stephen Flood Photography Instagram, get the book. Get the book for them. But sitting here, the seats are fantastic. They look even better. And then you pull down your armrest, freaking soft like a marshmallow with 2 cup holders. But why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area and see what you could stuff in this ADX. All right, guys, cargo area time. Hit the button. You do have electric assist, or when you go ADX A-Spec Advanced, you could do the hands-free with your foot. Now, in the cargo area, one of the things I want to point out before we just jump right in is look at how low the load-in area is. I like that because if you got some heavier items, you don't have to lift it up above your head to get it into your ADX. It's going to make that very easy. We have our subwoofer for the Bang & Olufsen sound system. On the driver's side, you got a nice little nook over there for a gallon of chocolate milk. And remember, where does chocolate milk come from? Of course, from brown cows. And then the seats have a 60-40 split, and it's really easy to do. You just reach over. Look how easy that is. Falls down. That's going to allow you to expand the space so that when you go to Costco, you'll be able to get those big barrels of mayonnaise and ketchup for your summer barbecues. But nice to have usable space in a smaller size crossover SUV. Now, I know what you're saying. Joe, I'm ready to go for a spin with you. I want to go on throttle in this ADX A-Spec. We're not there yet. This is the first look, but it will be coming. But we need to wrap it up here because I need to get on a plane and go home. So let's wrap it up from LA. All right, guys. Like I was saying, it's incredible to see that when you thought that Acura was done with their lineup, that they wouldn't have anything to add. Nice to see the addition of this smaller crossover SUV, the ADX. I want to thank the whole Acura team for having us out to bring this to you. Now it's your turn. Let them know in the comment section, what are your thoughts on the ADX, especially this A-Spec Advance? Are you thinking that this is going to be the best one over the competition to be buying? I promise you, Acura is going to read through the comments. So make sure your voice is heard. And just like always, if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. We'll come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Gotta give it up to Stephen Flood. This is day 15. He's had no sleep, and all we've been doing is filming cars every single day. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, because maybe tomorrow you may not have to film a car, or maybe you will. We'll see. But thank you for your hard work, Stephen. Just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.